What is up, my YouTube friends? Welcome to another episode of Questions from the Truck. This is number 30. We're in the shop today because I have a lot of shop related questions this week. Um, and I thought this would be the appropriate place to answer them. Some of them are, well, we'll get to them. First, I'm going to do my non-shop related questions. My first question. Yeah, guys. B&H Railroad. Darren, what's up, brother? He wants to know what happened to the train. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So I'm using this new, um, what do you call it? Video editor on my computer, not on my phone. Usually I do these videos on my phone, and it's pretty simple. I use this app called QFtT, and man, it's simple. Really simple to use. And on the computer, it's a little harder. And I kind of lost where I put my video of two parts, two videos I put together into one, and I lost where I put it. I don't use it enough to know easily. So I loaded the wrong video. I just loaded the first part of the video, and that train will be on the next one. Okay. Don't worry. So that's what happened to that, man. Thanks for your question, dude. I know you were just joking, but I just wanted to let everybody know what happened to that video. My next question is from Delaware Train Productions. Jeff, what's up, my man? He wants to know, he's got three for me. His last question for me last week that I forgot was, do I have a certain time that I rail fan? No, I don't. Whenever. I rail fan, sometimes in the morning, coming to the shop, lunch. The train is 5 minutes away from my shop. It's like between here and the Wawa. Well, it's a little past the Wawa, but I go to get lunch at the Wawa, and 2 minutes later I go to the train, and 5 minutes in total. So it doesn't matter. So his other question to me is, do I like overhead or ground level shots of trains? I really don't have a preference. I like them all. They're all cool. They're all different. I like drone stuff. What I don't like in people's videos, and don't take this as your video or anyone else watching it, I don't like music in videos for the most part, especially over train noise. I want to hear trains, man, not music. Um, so that's that one. And he wants to know, his next question is, why do they do more track work in the summer months rather than in the fall and the winter? No idea, dude. Maybe because in the wintertime the ground's frozen, it's hard to dig up. I don't know. Big projects they do in the summertime, I guess. I really don't have an answer to that. I'm a woodworker. uh, his next question to me is, what would I like to see in his videos train related? Train stuff, man. I don't care. Here's the thing, dude. Make videos because you like to make videos. Don't start making videos for everybody to please them, because you're never going to please everybody. Make them for yourself, man. Thanks for your questions, dude. Be well. My next one, Mystic Southern Railways. Thanks for all your popping into my videos and commenting. I appreciate that from you, dude. You got a nice layout, too. Um, he wants to know, do I think, or do you guys think that we're all just figures in a universal size layout? Yeah, dude, we are. We're all just like little pawns in the political scheme. We don't go political here. But yeah, it's all a bunch of BS. Next question. Thanks, dude. Next question. Rick Bailey. He wants to know, is there one tool that I would consider a specialty tool that I couldn't live without? Yeah, my track saw. You might be thinking, wow, man, a track saw, really? Track saw, man. What's a track saw? A track saw is like a circular saw that rides on a track, and you put that track down, and you know exactly where you're cutting. It could be an angle, it could be straight, it could be anything, not curves, obviously. But my track saw, I love my track saw. I use it for so many things. I couldn't live without it now that I have it. Before it was like no big deal, but the track saw. Yep. That's it, man. You can Google track saws and see what they look like. Like I said, it just looks like a circular saw, but rides in an aluminum track. My next question, we're going to go over to some stuff. Hold on. Let's go. My next question, Dave's trains. Dave wants to know, how long do you leave stain on before you wipe it off? This isn't a commercial for these products. It's just something that I use. I I just think it's super easy product to use. They have good customer service. They have a complete line of different stuff. It's kind of confusing. Um, but how long do you leave it on? So here's a piece of wood. Same stain, right? Just different application. So what you're going to have to do, Dave, is get yourself a little sample, or if it's a project, you're going to have to go to the back of the project. See, I'd make notes. Go to the back of the project and do samples, because there's too many variables. Weather is a huge one. The product you're using is a huge one. How big your project is a huge one. I just don't have enough time to answer that question really simply. You're going to have to test it and see what you like, see what you want. One thing with pine is a blotchy wood. If you don't care about blotchiness, what blotchiness looks like kind of is, you see here, it's hard to see, but you can kind of see these little dark spots. This is maple. Okay, maple's kind of blotchy too. There's conditioner on these two pieces to even out the stain, because wood absorbs stain at different rates. The softwood and the hardwood in it, the grains, wide grain absorbs more than tighter narrow grain. Different woods absorb. So there's like a whole big thing about it. If you don't care about it, no big deal, man. Put it on, like, do your little test, put it on, and wipe it off. Weather condition is a big thing, so that is huge. Yeah, General Finishes product. Minwax is fine. I'm not a fan of it, just because I don't like all-in-one products like a stain and a finish. To me, they're just not very. I'm going to get flamed on this by other woodworkers that use it, but they're just not durable enough for me in my world. Okay. I want something that is a stain, and then I apply a finish over it. General Finishes has so many different stains. There's, gel stains, water-based stains, dye stains, oil-based stains. Same thing with finishes. There's oil-based finishes, water-based finishes. And just generally, like, oil-based finishes take longer to dry. So they have their advantages and disadvantages. Again, it's like a big thing that I could spend, hours on talking. But General Finishes, they have a YouTube page, and it's awesome. They have tons of videos on there. But that's the products that I like. Minwax is fine too. I don't like oil-based. I don't like their products because they smell so bad. So, like, if you're doing this inside, you got to be in a well-ventilated area, and you'll be okay. But that's what I like, General Finishes. And You're going to have to test your stain and see. I make test samples of every project because, like I said, you don't know. Weather conditions is a big thing. Help you, Dave. If not, and you have more questions, just ask, okay? Beep, 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 beep. This just in. This just in. Indian Head Valley Railroad. Uncle Wilmer, he's got a question. He wants to know what if he wanted to put a HO scale trolley on his layout, what would be a good brand and model to buy? Wilmer, here's the thing. I don't think there's many companies that make them. I only know of Bachman and Concord that make them. That's it. Both in DC and DCC. Um, uh, Model wise, like error, I don't know. Like you probably when you went to Steamtown rode the Peter Witt up there. It was I think 76 or 78 center door car or the maroon red arrow car. They're Peter Witt cars. They're like of an era like 1920s to 1930s, early 40s, and then when you get into the mid 40s and 50s, you get into the PCC cars, the Presidential Conference Committee cars. Those real like rounded, stylish, like you know, cool looking cars, like more aerodynamic, not boxy. But hey, if you guys know, put them in the comments below and let Wilmer and me know. I'd like to get one for my N scale layout. Thanks, Wilmer. So I have a question for you guys and girls. Your model railroad empire. How important is it that your layout be flat and true and not prone to movement, warpage, or anything like that? Is it important to your railroad? Does movement matter? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested in hearing from everybody. That means you. I want to really hear your comments about this. Thanks. So Sparky's question to me is if I was making a helix, what wood would I use? So, dude, I never did a layout, so I can't talk to you about what's good for, you know, a layout, but I can talk to you about wood as a woodworker and as a cabinet maker. Okay, so, and I'm not making any assumptions or anything based on other people that are doing this, okay? Construction guys, rough framers know their products, okay? I know my products. I don't know how, you know, CDX plywood or exterior grade plywood is going to hold up or be like. I don't work with it. I know with what I work with. And my thoughts in the modeling world is that you need things pretty flat. They can't expand and contract much because you need tolerances. Your tolerances are very small, I would think. I don't know this, but I would think. So I would want the best product that I could get for my layout. To me, the best product that I can get with my knowledge as a cabinet maker is Baltic birch. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry. Baltic birch plywood, right? Baltic birch plywood, this is 3/4 inch, right? There is no voids. It's perfectly flat. It will stay perfectly flat. There are 13 layers in here. So what you want is material that has multiple layers, not like this construction grade stuff here, right? It's got gaps, it's got voids. They're called voids. You know, the surface isn't level. Sometimes there's like little ridges in it, you know, because of these voids. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, you know, just because you screw something down here doesn't mean it's going to be flat here, over here. So you, in my eyes, you don't want construction lumber in your layout. You don't want construction 2x4s in your layout. And here's another reason why. Here's the reason why. I plan on doing a whole video of wood selections, but this is a short one. 2x4s, okay? They're not really dry. They're not meant to be dry. They're going to expand and contract, and they're going to twist and turn. They don't need to be perfectly flat because they're in the construction. They're covered up. As long as they're somewhat okay, and as a finished carpenter, you know that, man, you get on a job site, you're lucky to find walls that are flat and true, okay? And it's because of 2x4s, man. 2x4s nowadays, construction grade lumber is junk. And especially, I don't want to blast them, but at the big home stores, it's junk, okay? It's cheap. It's cheap for a reason, because it's junk. Go to a local lumber yard that has better quality. You might pay a little more, but you don't have to spend an hour picking through a pile of boards to find 10 boards that you want. I know when I go to my lumber yard, if I need 10 2x4s, I don't have to spend an hour picking through them because everyone's going to be good. I pay a little more for them, but it's better wood. It's not going to twist on me. It's flat to begin with. It's going to stay flat. So to answer your question, yeah, Baltic birch is what I would use for my helix. And if you can't get Baltic birch, like I said, you want a cabinet grade plywood, something that has multiple layers. The more layers, the better. Both of these pieces here, they're different thicknesses. They both have 13 layers, okay? No voids. And you're not going to get that with, construction grade plywood, right? Like this stuff. You're not going to get that. So if you can't find Baltic birch, then, a birch product, something, that's like a finished grade, like the big box stores, they have like, this is, I think, sand ply from the orange store, okay? You're talking like $50 a sheet, but it's not going to move on you like this construction grade plywood. You don't want construction grade plywood. Something else to consider, if you're in a humid climate, a climate that continuously, sorry about that, continuously changes, you should paint both sides of your underside and the top side. That way, because if you just do the top, the underside is still open to absorbing moisture, okay? So you will kind of want to coat all your surfaces, edges, everything, so that it helps minimize the absorption of moisture, okay? Because moisture is your enemy, right? Dude, I hope that helped you with your question. Like I said, I'm going to do a video just talking about lumber and my thoughts on what you should use, and it's just my thoughts. Thanks, guys, for all your questions. Thanks for your answers. Be well, be blessed. Until Wednesday. Take care. God bless you. See ya!